James, Mikel Merino, an Arsenal player at last. Give us the details.
Finally confirmed this, another saga, I guess, but it's been agreed a few days ago. He is now being confirmed just before 4 o'clock this afternoon. We understand the fee around €37.5 million, including performance-related add-ons. It's a 4-year contract for the 28-year-old. Arsenal do have the option of extending that by a further year. He'll be in line to make his debut for Arsenal at home against Brighton this weekend. Also, in terms of outgoings, a couple of players. Fabio Vieira, he's arrived in Porto ahead of completing a season-long loan move. Ajax remain interested in Aaron Ramsdale. David Raya now is the first-choice keeper for Arsenal. Look at what he's done in the first 2 weekends of this season. So Ajax, Southampton are considering whether to go back in with another offer. So far, the reason why a lot of Premier League clubs have struggled to make this work, and for Ajax as well, Arsenal were looking for a permanent deal in this window. They're looking for worst case, a loan, ideally with an obligation to buy. But we understand the valuation that Arsenal have set in terms of what that buy price would be has put Premier League clubs off and Ajax so far. But it does look like Aaron Ramsdale wants first-team football. Whether or not it's in the Premier League or Ajax, they remain interested.
All right, let's stay with Arsenal outgoings. Eddie Nketiah, is he going out the door?
It's going to be an emotional time, I'll tell you, when we don't talk Eddie Nketiah anymore on our transfer shows. But it's getting ever so close, though, to a move to Crystal Palace. They've agreed a deal in principle with Arsenal, Crystal Palace. Fee understood to be around 25 million. Initial payment with 5 million performance-related add-ons. That's still being discussed right now, but he has been given permission to undertake his Crystal Palace medical. Forest were keen, but that didn't materialise. Now the key is Nketiah, probably a bit like we've said over the last few weeks on Emil Smith Rowe, probably time for a fresh start, a move. Arsenal pretty firm. They wanted around £30 million. So this is getting ever so closer. Hopefully we'll hear from Oliver Glasner tonight as Crystal Palace take on Norwich in the League Cup, because plenty of transfer lines for managers to get into in post-match interviews tonight.
Aren't there just? I want to stay with this Nketiah, though, because at the weekend we all saw Arteta say, I need a forward, but he's selling one. So aren't they going to be short?
Well, a bit of context with Eddie Nketiah. As promising a player as he is and as important as he has been for Arsenal over the years, he's not started a Premier League game in 2024. So by that token, they don't necessarily need to bring a replacement for somebody simply to not get many minutes. But then at the same time, Gabriel Jesus is injured at the moment. The initial prognosis is that he's not going to be out for long. I think what helps Arsenal here is there is an international break following this game against Brighton. But I think Arsenal fans are concerned because given Gabriel Jesus' injury record in recent time, Kai Havertz is seemingly the only fit striker they have at this moment in time. I think Arsenal fans forget that Kai Havertz was signed as a left-side number 8. He's now excelling as a striker, so he's the first choice there. There are other options in the pitch. Leandro Trossard can play. There's a false 9 as well. And we did report at the beginning of this transfer window that forward was an area that Arsenal looked to strengthen in. So if they are to get a forward in this window, they'll have got everything they wanted in this transfer window. Now, it does feel like with time ticking, it's unlikely they're going to get one done. There's not really any panic buys, that's for sure.